Hello, algebra students. If you got stuck on this one, I don't blame you. This is one of the more tricky examples. And remember, as we go through this, you only have to get about half right to pass the GED math. So if this is one of the ones where you're just like, wow, this is more challenging than I care to practice, it wouldn't be the end of the world if you never mastered this particular skill. So let's take a look. So the table shows annual labor data from a few sectors of the construction contractor industry in Hawaii in 2017. Keali'i owns a small framing company in Honolulu. He employs 2 other framers who make $28.50 per hour. Okay, interesting. And then lots more info in this table. I don't know what I need yet. Let's keep reading. If you were to add another construction sector, roofing contractors, to the table, the mean number of employees per sector would be 705.6. How many people were employed as roofing contractors in Hawaii in 2017? Okay, how many people were employed as roofing contractors? Sounds like an easy question, but, if you go to this table, you're not going to see anything about roofing contractors, right? We have poured concrete contractors, steel and precast concrete, framing, masonry. Roofing contractors isn't on the table. They say that this is if we were going to add another construction sector. So they're wondering if we put roofing contractors here, then how many people would be employed? Let's see, number of firms, revenue in thousands, payroll in thousands. Oh, there we go. How many people employed? Number of employees. All right, well, we need some clues. What do we know? If you were to add that to the table. Oh, here we go. The mean number of employees per sector would be 705.6. So we have some info. The employees from the other 4 sectors. There's a 5th one that we need. We don't know what it is, but we do know something. We know the mean of all 5 of these numbers. We know what the mean would be if you added in that 5th number. The mean would be 705.6. And so what we have is we have a clue. I'm going to start with writing that clue down. The mean, also known as the average, is equal to 705.6. This is how I write equations. I start in kind of like math-glish, as I call it, part English, part math, and then I just replace the English with math. So how am I going to replace the English with math? Well, I know how to find a mean, and this is why this is included here. You might say, Kate, we didn't learn very much about mean. No, but we learned about the formula sheet. So go hit up your formula sheet and it will tell you something interesting about mean. It's going to tell you that the mean is the total of the data divided by the number of items in the data set. The total of the data divided by the number of items in the data set. Well, how do I find that? That's my divided by bar, by the way. How do I find the total of the data? You would add up all the numbers, right? So you would add up the employees from each one of these sectors, the 673. The 677, the 500, the 402. And you say, but Kate, what's the 5th one? I don't know the 5th one. Yeah, you don't. That's why you use a variable. The 5th one, let's call it R for roofing contractors, employees and roofing contractors, or employees of roofing contractors. I don't know it, and so I'll use a variable, a letter to stand in for it, R. Now, the mean is the total divided by the number of items in the data set. So I'd be dividing up all these total employees among these 5 sectors now that I added in the roofing contractors. So it would be dividing by 5. And that whole thing is going to equal what? Well, they told us that mean is equal to 705.6. Now, it might be ugly looking, but we have all the information we need now in order to solve this. So I'm going to start by simplifying. The left-hand side is kind of gross because of all these numbers that are adding. I might not be able to add R in, but I sure can add up the other 4. So let's see, 673 plus 677, I'm totally using my calculator, you guys. Plus 500 plus 402 is 2,252. Okay, so that was that, plus that, plus that, plus that. I still haven't added in the plus r. I haven't dealt with the fact that it's all dividing by 5, and that thing is going to be equal to 705.6. And by the way, algebraically is not the only way to do this. It's my preferred method. Now I'm solving for r. I don't like this fraction, guys. Let's deal with this fraction. That whole group, 2252 plus r, that whole grouping is being divided by 5. So we can get rid of the divide by 5 by taking that whole grouping again and multiplying by 5. We can do whatever we want as long as we do it to both sides. And let's see what happens. Multiplying and dividing by 5 are opposites. They cancel. So what's left? That group is free from its fraction. 2252 plus r is going to be equivalent to, what is 705.6 times 5? 35.28, and r is almost alone, but I have this 2252 to get rid of. It is adding with r, it is a term, so I will take it away by subtraction since it's positive on both sides since it's a change I'm making. And let's see here. If I have 2252 and I take it away, there's nothing left there, nothing to add with r. This is just r. And 3528 minus 2252. Can you hear my dog whining? I'll let you out in a second. 1,276. Woohoo! How many roofing contractors? There it is, D. 1,276. Okay, so maybe you hated my way. Maybe you're like, Kate, you're the worst. Why are you writing equations when you know I'm not good at writing equations? Not the only way to do this, you guys. You could have taken each one of these numbers and tested them as the fifth number in order to find mean. And then you would have been able to do a straightforward like guess and check method. You could have also used some arithmetic to do it instead of algebra. There's a lot of methods, okay? I don't care which way you go. I really don't. But you just have to kind of logic through it. And I find the easiest way to logic through it is to write an equation. That's my favorite because I'm fluent. I'm fluent in algebra. But I want you to be fluent too, you guys, because you guys are probably college bound, let's be honest. And most college math is algebra. All right, you guys, super proud of you. Happy learning.